What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 77 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. It's Friendship Friday, and it's brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network. We're proud partners, the #1 podcast network for professionals. I'm Kyle, as always, and we got Nate and Ben and a special guest today, our favorite pro golfer and friend.
Yes,
man. For Friendship Friday, Blayne Barber, looking absolutely stunning this evening. What's up, Blayne?
Guys, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Again, I said it before. He's the least dad bod ever. He did give us the best description for a dad bod of all time, which is when you take your shirt off and no one's either impressed nor disgusted at the same time. That's the best description.
Ground.
Best description
You're
of
on
dad
the
bod ever.
side of that spectrum, Blayne. We all know that.
So before we get into this, I got to drop some knowledge on you guys.
Hit it,
boy.
So you know that I do a little broadcasting outside of this, like for a real job.
Sure.
And I get these show prep things that they send to you all the time. And I promised our friend Zach Blackerby I bring this up because we get a thing today that says all these words have been added to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Guys, we're official. Dad bod is an official word.
Oh, yes.
That is in the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
We have to take credit for that, right?
Oh, there's no doubt. Like, we started the podcast, and then now, as of yesterday, that was when it became official. There's no doubt they've been listening.
76 episodes. There you go.
See?
There you go.
Dude, listen to him quoting chapter and verse on these episode numbers.
Hey,
I called him ahead of time, and we decided to go ahead and he got those numbers right.
Speaking of credit, you're not going to need any credit when you just absolutely win all your bets at Betonline.ag. You can head to their new updated desktop mobile website, sign up today, speaking of
casinos,
receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use promo code BLEAV, BLEAV 50 to receive your bonus. Bet Online is the easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. Bet Online, where the game starts. So this episode is all about Blayne and Q-School and the journey and what we just had happen, what we got coming up, and we're super fired up. We were texting back and forth. Not you, because I got in trouble for texting.
Let's discuss that. What are you doing? What are you doing texting? He's trying to qualify, and you're sending out text messages.
He's wheeling and dealing. He's trying to get people on the pod.
That's not true.
That's not
true.
You know, it's no big deal. It's just Q-School.
You know, did you know that Kyle actually put stuff in Blayne's kids' backpacks and be like, "Hey, ask your dad about being on the pod"?
That's not true. That is not true.
Blayne, walk us through that. Like you mess with him a little bit, and we love messing with him. So what exactly happened in that scenario?
Kyle has a very tender heart, and he's easy to mess with. And I'm looking at my phone here. He said something to the effect of he texted my caddy, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna mess with Kyle. Watch this. What? So I said, if you could leave me and my caddy alone during the middle of a huge tournament, that would be appreciated. Thanks for your cooperation. And I put the thanks for your cooperation in there just to be super sarcastic. And then he replied with a sad face. And then I started getting screenshots from other friends who were like, Kyle thinks you're totally serious, blah, blah, blah. And so I just let it ride. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
He let it ride.
Yeah, he left me on red.
He sends us a screenshot.
You said a sad face. What was he supposed to say back to that?
He says,
say, haha, JK. Just kidding.
He sends me and Nate a screenshot. And it says, guys, I messed up. Like, because we were planning on asking you to be on Friendship Friday, and it was like you have completely ruined the guest before we ever even asked him.
Well, first of all, the caddy texted me first. Okay, so that's not my fault.
You should have said that back to Blayne. You should.
I know,
but clarified your position.
But I thought he was serious.
He folds. He just lays down super quick. There's no
completely. You know, like when you're a kid and like the bully rushes you, you just lay down. You just laid down. That's what I did. Yeah. I just laid down. I
love it. Okay. I love it.
It took a
fetal position. Please make Blayne not be mad at me. What do you guys think? And we, of course, me and Nate didn't help because we were like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Bad.
So
and the sad face is where I feel like I'm ashamed of you when you sent Blayne
Yeah.
Barber.
I didn't know how to
Yeah,
respond.
you-
I didn't.
It was just
I
like
had
the
no response to that. If you're gonna send me that, it's just like, well, he's sad. I don't know. Leave him alone.
Now I've hurt his feelings.
Yeah. Well, okay. Enough fun. Make fun of me. This is not about me. This is about Blayne. Okay.
if Kyle's wife listens now, she'll know why he didn't sleep that night while he was tossing. and
Yeah,
turning.
exactly.
no.
Why,
I
why,
did.
why he was pacing the floor.
Yeah. I was worried. I was legitimately worried that I had upset you. So I was
I'm
like
sorry.
asking several people.
That's the like 17th time that's occurred. So if you haven't picked up on it yet, then I mean, I can't.
I got it now. I got it now. So,
Yeah.
so I think I got it. So
Please
Blayne.
don't give in, Blayne. Just keep it rolling.
Okay,
Anytime he-
perfect.
just
Keep it going.
please. All right.
So Blayne, last week or 2 weeks ago, last week,
It was last week. Yep.
you went through second stage and pretty much dominated and almost won it. But I had there was something that you posted on your story a while back. There was a reason that you got to completely skip first stage that you didn't know until like not
Yeah.
very long ago. Go over all that, like how that whole thing works and how you got to just go straight to second stage and the mindset of how do I go into a tournament with the mindset of all I got to do is come in the top 20 versus I got to win. I want to win the tournament. Like how does that whole dynamic work?
Yeah. So in about July, I played poorly for most of the kind of what we were calling our mega season because it was the combination of 2 years with COVID. I knew I needed a win in the last 5 weeks to have any chance to get into the playoffs. So my game was trending well, and I knew that was a possibility. But I was just kind of starting to gather information and figure out what the fall was going to look like if I didn't play great to finish out. And so I pulled up the application and printed it out, and I started just glancing through the exemption categories to see, because in my mind I assumed I was going to have to go back to first stage, and so I was looking through the categories and I fit one that said if you had competed in the finals of the Q-School qualifying tournament and had also made 100 cuts on the PGA Tour and the Web.com Tour or the Korn Ferry Tour combined. And I was thinking, I started doing the math in my head and I was like, I got to be close to that. So it was my week off before I went out to Colorado, and I pulled up my profile on PGAtour.com and I had made 55 cuts on the PGA Tour and 44 cuts on the Korn Ferry Tour. So I was at 99. And so I was like, well,
Wow.
man, I'm playing first stage every week now. You just make one more cut and I'm good to go into second, at least at the worst. And so I made the cut that week, and that was actually my first top 10 in like 2 years. But when I made the cut, I fist bumped Wyatt when we finished that day, and I was like, well, just got through first stage.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Wait a minute. Did he know? Did he know?
I know I didn't tell him at the beginning of the week. No, I didn't want him to feel any extra pressure, and I didn't feel any pressure by it.
Were you more nervous? Oh, so you didn't feel pressure. So you
No,
weren't
it was
nervous
just-
about
it was
that?
like
It
a
gave
nice
you more
little
opportunity, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a nice little carrot, and then that week I played really well, so I wasn't even really that close to the cut line. I probably made the cut by 5 or 6 shots, which isn't the case every week. Normally, you're literally one swing away from being in 10th or being outside the cut line. I mean, it's crazy how tight it is. So that week it was nice, kind of coming down. I knew that I'd done that, so that was cool. And then the second part of your question, just being completely honest, this is my 3rd time at second stage in my career, and just based off how I've been playing and what I feel about my game, and then kind of the fields at second stage, I felt like I was one of the better players there going into the week. And so
I love it.
being in the top 20, I wasn't, I mean, you could still go and play poor golf and not get it done, but I feel like I had a lot of confidence going into I had played a mini tour event at the course 3 weeks, kind of prep the course and get my homework done early. And then it was a cool mindset. I mean, I just kind of walked in just feeling like I was one of the best guys there, and I was trying to win the 4 days, and had a chance to do that. So it was weird on the last round, walking off 9. I was playing with Andy Ogletree, and I told him at that point, we were playing pretty good, and it was kind of a non-issue. And it was just like competitively, I wanted to win, and I still was kind of in it. But then at the same time, it was just like, I'm just ready to get done. And pace of play was super slow, and
Mhm.
So there was this kind of just like, I just tried to stay in it and just keep playing and, just finish the job. And so I didn't quite finish my ultimate goal, but setting the bar high kind of made the floor kind of easy to surpass.
So there's
Yeah,
not go ahead.
It's
Nate.
just such a unique, like the guy in 20th place and the guy in first place both get the same reward.
There's no payout at second stage or anything. So you're not playing for any money or it literally is the same. You just move on to the next stage.
So in going into Sunday, you were only one shot back, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there ever a thought going through your mind where it's like, you got like a 3 touchdown lead late in the fourth quarter? Do you just run the clock out? Like, is there any of that where it's like, okay, I just got to like not have a big number? But I guess I don't know. I'll let you answer that. Is there ever that let's just run the clock out and get this thing over with? Or how do you ever, does it make you change your game? Like how does that whole thing work?
I was gonna say, are you asking if he like puts the driver away and he's just nothing?
Yeah.
But
do you lay up less often?
He's nothing
more
but
often?
4 irons down the right.
I don't know.
That's it.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff can happen. I'd say 10 years into playing professionally, I don't feel that way anymore. I mean, you wrestle with that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just, that's kind of part of playing a high level sport, period. But I put my focus kind of on trying to win just so that I didn't get lax or kind of, I mean, I would have had to do something silly to not make it. So there wasn't ever that thought in my mind really, but I tried to just kind of focus on, I want to try to go out there and get the win today, just to kind of keep a carrot out there to chase. And then my game, I'm very sharp. I was like 2 over 6, which is the tougher stretch of that golf course. And then 7 through 18 are scoreable. But I kind of got off to a slow start, and I think Andy was 2 under through 6 or something. So, I mean, I already kind of had gotten behind the 8 ball. And then at that point, it was kind of like, okay, I just need to get this in the house. Cause
get in the house.
I didn't feel good about it. I wasn't worried about not making it, but I was just like, but I just didn't feel sharp. So.
Sure. So I believe it was Saturday, and this was the text message right before you got on me, right before you got on me. So like I'm following religiously, and hey, by the way, Korn Ferry Tour Q-School, let's get better than just 9-hole updates. Let's see if we can figure out at least
some volunteers, and that could be possible.
Yeah, maybe 3-hole updates or something like that. I mean,
you'll have full regular scoring at the finals event.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Awesome. So I go, like, obviously I'm walking through your scorecard, like just like it's mine. But anyway, you had a hole out.
Yeah.
And I text why. I was like, I got to know details like ASAP. Like, tell me about the hole out. So Blayne, I never did hear about the hole out. So.
Oh, nice. Here we go.
Tell us.
So 8 is so this golf course is it's the RTJ Highlands in Dothan, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They have 27 holes. We played the Highlands and I think it's Marshwood, I believe, are the 2 9s we played. So it's the 8th hole on the Highlands course. And 1 through 6 are tough. There's, I mean, like, depending on where they put the tees, I mean, I hit 4 iron into one day. I hit 6 iron into 2. 3 is a tough driving hole over water. 4 is a 225 par 3 peninsula with like water everywhere. And then
nice.
6 is like a 5 iron par 3. So it's like a ton of long irons right out of the gate. So if you can get through 6 at around even, in my mind, was kind of what I was thinking. I mean, you could play the last 12 in like 6 or 8 under if you're playing well, because there's a lot of wedges, par 5s, etc. 7's a par 5, 9's a par 5, and then there's a reachable par 5 on the back as well. So it was kind of like get through 6 and then just hit the gas. And
right.
So I was even through 6. I think 1 birdie, 1 bogey, and then birdied 7. Like hit it on a 2 and 2 putted, so got it to under par, which is good. And then on 8, I didn't hit a great drive. I hit it in the left rough, but the pin was kind of the right side of the green. But the pin was literally sitting on a shelf that is, if anybody's played RTJ courses, big slopey mounted greens,
right?
And the front right is like a massive low depression bowl, and then there's a bowl on the left side of the green. So there's like this part in the middle that's, plateau, and then into 2 bowls. So the pin is on the plateau, and the plateau is maybe 4 paces wide. I mean, it's really narrow. So I hit in the left rough, have a squirrely lie, and 100 and I think I had 130. I think I had 128 or 130 yards. But I'm literally just trying to make par. I'm like, I'm going to hit this in the bowl left because the left bowl was a better putt than the bowl right. So I'm aiming 15 feet, 20 feet left of it, and just trying to get the distance right. Because if it goes too far, I have a crazy downhill putt coming back. And if it's short, it's a bunker and the pin's on this little ledge. So, I mean, it's hard. Like, I'm just trying to make 4. So I hit this, and I don't quite know how the lie is going to come out. I think I do, but so I'm playing the shot. So I hit pitch wedge, comes out a little bit right of where I'm looking, just based off my lie. Hits perfectly and starts rolling, and it kind of was like blocked from our view. And it looked good. It was going right at it, and it just rolled in like a putt. The guys in my group were like, it went in. And I looked over at Wyatt, and I just gave him a stare, and I just went.
Deuces.
And so like 1 under to 3 under real fast, and then I went from just trying to make a par to making an eagle, and so that kind of jump started it. And I think I shot 6 that day. So
you go into another par 5 right after that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and then I had about a 8 or 10 footer on the next hole to shoot 4 on the front, and I lipped out. I hit a good putt, but yeah. So it was.
Did
fun.
Wyatt look at you and just do?
Yeah, Wyatt did it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He'd have walked straight to the car from there. He'd have been in the car. Thanks for your service.
That was awesome. That's awesome. All right,
Yeah,
so
cool.
so you get through. You kind of have a week off to kind of get recharged, get refocused, and then next week is final stage in Savannah, Georgia. And I have like you tried to explain. I heard you explain a little bit this morning, but how all that works, because I've seen you see highlights on social media, on Instagram, of people getting through second stage, and the all the things are they've punched their ticket to the Korn Ferry Tour.
Yeah.
But they still have to play final stage, but there's like 10 or 12. There's like all these different ways that you can finish and get starts, get more starts. Yeah. How does all that work?
Yeah. So let's just take a normal field size is 144 people.
Right.
So let's just say the first Bahamas event is 144 people. There's only 144 spots available in that field. The top 75 on last year's money list or points list from Korn Ferry are fully exempt. So they can play every event the entire season if they want to.
Right.
25 of those guys are now on the PGA Tour. So now we're down to 50. So you got 50 guys, let's say, that are fully exempt, that they can play every event. Then everybody else is under a conditional category or in a category where you're subject to reshuffles. So every 4 events, they will add all your points up that you've accumulated, and then that's how you receive your priority ranking. So filling the rest of that field is going to come from how you've played in the events that you've competed in so far. So at final stage, the winner is fully exempt. So you can add him to the 50 guys. So now there's, let's say, 51. In a field, you're going to have some PGA Tour players that don't get in that week's event that will play down. So maybe let's say 20 to 25 more people. So now we're at half the field, give or take. And then at final stage, spot 2 through 10, you're guaranteed the first 8 starts. So you're exempt through 2 reshuffles. And if you make one cut and earn some points, you're going to shuffle into the system as long as you get into an event early. So Q-School is important because some conditional guys will get in events mid-season, but at that point, points have already been accumulated, so you don't really shuffle up. But 2 through 10 get 8 guaranteed events, and then 11 through 40 in ties get 4 guaranteed events. So you're exempt into that first reshuffle. So you got to get out there, make some cuts, kind of get the ball rolling, but then at that point you're basically fine for the remainder of the year. So kind of complicated, but that's just how the priority works. So you can go to Q-School, finish 80th, and you may not get in an event unless you Monday qualify or get a sponsor's invitation for a while. And if you don't do that, then it just kind of like the momentum in a bad way continues to build, and you're just not going to get starts.
So far behind the 8 ball at that point.
That's right. So finishing in the top 40 is the ultimate goal for someone in the position of not having full status like I'm in. But really, I'm set on, I would love to finish top 10. Obviously I'm going to try to win, but If you're in the top 10, then you can pick and choose some of the first few events are, 2 in the Bahamas. I think we're in Bogota, Colombia, and then Panama City, Panama. And they're all great events, but it just gets hectic and that's a lot of travel. And if you can say, hey, I'm going to skip one of these, just take some pressure off. So, but that's the kind of general explanation of it.
So going back to the reshuffle. All right. So every 4 events, it reshuffles. So if you get in, like you were talking about, if you get that first, if you get in the top 40 and you get those first 4 starts, you go through that first that first shuffle, and then those top 50 from the previous year, that basically goes away. And then it just takes all the points that have been accumulated through those first 4 events, and they become it comes a new top 50 of points. And
the top 50 stay the same. They're kind of in their own separate category the whole year.
Okay.
So like if I pull up my PGA Tour, like they call it our Tour Links page, it'll show the field, and like that first clump of players is going to just be the same throughout the entire season because they're fully exempt and they can just play whenever they want.
Gotcha.
Then right after that is where it jostles and changes, and like you could be like some guy will go to Q-School, finish in the top 40, struggle early, and he'll get bumped out just by virtue of poor play. And then somebody that was lower than him will Monday qualify for something, make a cut, and then they now jump in. And so that's where kind of the volatility comes.
Gotcha.
That's wild.
Let me ask you this. All right. But I guess this is what this means then. So when it says they've punched your ticket and you kind of
algebra, man, it
is, but it's not. He explained it really well this morning, and it made a lot of sense. So when they say they've punched their ticket to the Korn Ferry Tour, that just means that they have, even if it's the lowest rung of status, they have status. So like if they were to get into an event, they can accumulate points.
That's correct. And there's other reciprocal benefits too.
Right.
As a member of the Korn Ferry Tour, you have access to TPC facilities. There are tiers of the health insurance you can purchase. So the PGA Tour subsidizes a large portion of our health insurance. If you're just a conditional guy, you pay a much larger premium. If you're fully exempt, you pay less of a premium. So there's all kinds of other.
Nice.
Everybody who's now in final stage has access to that health insurance, can, take advantage of some of the benefits of being a member of the Korn Ferry Tour. So even some of the guys who may not get starts or are going to have to really continue to still grind, there are still some benefits to it. So it's a big deal for somebody who's fresh out of college or whatever.
You get a cool bag tag?
Yeah, you get some little medallion that says, Korn Ferry Tour member.
That's awesome.
Your badge that you have to wear everywhere you
go. So Blayne, I have a golf trip next week, and I already have my outfits picked out. So do you have your Swannies gear just completely laid out already? Do you have your stuff ready? We're teammates, by the way. If nobody knows us, we're Swannies teammates. So do you already have your stuff? Do you already have your stuff ready?
I do, and it's in part. I just got some new shirts from those guys because my dad bod. I've gone from a small to a medium, so I don't look like a.
It's like not dad bod. It's all. Listen, we saw the Instagram post. You showed the trunk of your car. That had how many? What was that? 250.
I calculated it. I had about 560 pounds of stuff in the back of my.
Are you serious?
That thing was riding low. It was nice.
Really, you could just walk to events instead of doing CrossFit.
That is something. Like when I saw that, I was like, cannot relate. That is not something that I relate to right there whatsoever.
Yeah, you got to be prepared for everything.
Good night.
So, anyways, I have my medium set out now. So I have a small number until the new fall collection stuff comes out, which is supposed to be great.
Can't wait.
So, I have my stuff ready. I was just putting it on my hangers a few minutes ago, just to kind of get it off the floor, and so
If
nice.
If they send you any XLs, they just misprint. Send you some XLs.
Send them your way.
Send them my way.
Yeah, my size quiz gave me an XL too. So
speaking of that, when I was a cart guy, I don't even know if you gave them to me. I think Claxton got them from you and gave them to me, but I got about 6 or 8 of your smalls. back when you were who was that? Well, maybe one of your first sponsors. It was the Target athletic brand CG or something.
C9.
Yeah. I wore those every single.
Nice.
Jim used to get mad at me because I would not wear my AUC like cart guy polo. Like, sorry, dude. I don't know if you know, but Blayne gave this to me. So you can go back to your office, Jimmy. Yeah, I didn't actually say that, but yeah, that was pretty dope. I wore the crap out of those until I got a dad bod. And
I think I still have. I think I still have a lot of those in my attic. I should find some more for you.
I could wear them to work out and be super tired.
I love used. I love to use things, so I'll take them. I won't be able to fit in them, but anyway, if you want to look as good as Blayne, if you want to look as good as Blayne or have your stuff ready, you need to check out Swannies.co. Use coupon code Dadbod Golf Pod -25. Take 25% off your order, and then that's big savings. That's not free shipping. That's not negating the tax. That's 1/4 of your order gone. You don't pay
even the stuff already on sale. We're probably not supposed to say that, but they haven't told us that we
just absolutely
that, so we're going to go ahead and say that.
You can dominate the sale category.
Blayne, don't talk right. Don't say anything, Blayne, that'll get you in trouble, because let us do that. Because
just go buy it. That's all I'm gonna say.
There you go.
Check them out. Right. The Blayne is a style icon, and Swannies is helping in that category. So go.
By the way, let me go ahead and put this out there. Would you quit wearing the joggers because Kyle thinks he can wear them, and I don't think Kyle realizes that the two of you look very different in a mirror than
look
what he thinks. Because every time he's like, "Man, did you see they talked about like how good looking he was in those joggers? I'm going to get me some." I was like, "No."
I think I can do it. I got to drop a few LBs, but
hey, you're not going to know.
You got a little junk in the truck, Kyle.
So Blayne, do you have like these tan lines where like just your ankles are sunburned? Like you just have tan like just ankles?
I'm protecting against it by sunscreen. Yeah. But I've started sunscreening my ankles when I get out of the car.
It would be like a ring.
Let me ask you, do you legit
that would be awesome.
And I'm not trying to get you in trouble here. They look super comfortable. Are they really?
Yeah, I love them. And I'm picky about my hem length on pants.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find pants that are the correct length. And then if you don't, getting them hemmed is a pain in the butt. And then sometimes they don't come out all the same, whatever. So it solved an issue right out of the gate to where it's just like they stay
short on purpose.
Spot. Yeah, they're short on purpose. But they are like the ones that I've worn are they're just comfy, and they just kind of, I don't know, it makes me feel athletic, and it's differentiate. I did it at first to try it, and then people started making fun of me, which kind of just egged me on. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah,
and then it just kind of turned into my thing. So
it helps when you win. Like when you're doing that, when you're finishing like top 20s, it's like,
yeah, that's right.
I can't say anything.
Yeah,
like
I played bad in them for a while, and there was some contemplation there, but I just wrote it out. So
yeah, that boy.
Good.
The best was it in Utah or Colorado? Whenever you were like,
yes,
you're like, screw it, I'm going button down, untucked, joggers.
That looked really good.
It got on ESPN. Thanks. Like it was on ESPN.
We haven't seen anything that wild since Ryan
Moore.
And then
Kyle said he was ordering, and I was like, wait a second. He looks way better on television wearing that than you do, and I don't need to order it. Nate can pull off the joggers. He's got those long, skinny legs. He can pull it off.
So funny, crazy story. I was wearing joggers, but a different company, and then this brand that I wear now reached out on Instagram during the Utah event on Friday night. So I made the cut. I'm in contention, and they send me a direct message on Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, we're based in the area. We'd love to give you some stuff." And I'm like, "Sweet." They met me at a Starbucks the next morning. I had a late tea time because we're in Tucson. So I didn't see up till like 2:00. I tried them on in the parking lot, got my car, flipped them on. I was like, "Yeah, these are great material, fit good." And then that day I wore the button down with it, and no joke, like Korn Ferry events don't get big crowds. And on the first tee box, there was like 30 people watching us tee off, which is a lot for, there's like a couple scorers, maybe some parents, some spouses. Normally there's all these people, and it felt kind of odd and like a little bit strange. And then the guy that gave me the pants said during that front nine, he asked one of the guys like, "Oh, who are you here watching?" And they're like, "Well, I don't know. We saw this guy, the way he was dressed, and we decided to come watch him." And,
yeah,
I'm like, branding,
that's awesome.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
do you think
they just slid in your DMs? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Untucked anytime soon? Are we going to go? Are we going to go?
I love it. The only Swanee shirt I have, I don't know if it's still on the website now, but it was like one of the last couple years or last couple seasons. It's not a really good like golf material. It doesn't have a lot of stretch to it. So as long as you have the right size, it works fine. I think it looks cool and it's appropriate, like, maybe various events or kind of like for a specific
Bahamas
celebration or holiday or something.
Well, Kyle goes Untucked all the time.
I know. That's
but
because I'm fat.
So Swannies.
That's got nothing to do with that. Like it looks good, man. I can't pull it off.
So I would do it more. We just need more. We need some more, options in that category.
What do you think about hoodies on the golf course, Blayne? I mean, is that a yay or a nay for you?
Too. Yeah.
Okay.
I have the Swannies hoodie. Yeah. Couple of them.
I don't know if you knew, but Kyle does too. He didn't tell me.
Oh, I saw pics.
Pics.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's actually got matching hoodies.
Yep.
Do you have matching hoodies? Do you have matching hoodies with the caddy? No.
No, I don't. Not at this point.
Probably better that you don't.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea.
I got stroked it. Never mind.
No, wait, hoodies are. It's a tricky. You got to practice with a little bit because that hoodie's flopping around when you're swinging, and then the tassels, the strings. I'll like tuck them in, or some of them you can pull them out. Yeah, there you go, right there.
So Kyle
that's nice.
Goes to the first tee, and he wants it. He's got the hood up, strings in front. He addresses the ball, and he's like, "No, I can't do this." Throws the hood back, throws the strings back.
And then what happened, Nate?
It's weird. You don't realize how much peripheral vision you're using until you flip a hoodie on and try to hit a golf ball. And then
Exactly. All right, dude. So let's talk about next week. Let's get fired up. Let's get pumped. I know we already talked about clothes. The course. Have we played the course? How do we feel about the course? Tell us what we need to know.
I actually have not played. So we played 2 golf courses. The Landings is phenomenal supporters of the Korn Ferry Tour. We have a Korn Ferry event at Deerwood, which is, I think I'm saying that right. I think it's Deerwood. If I'm wrong, you can look it up on their website. They host a Korn Ferry event and it's phenomenal. The community gets behind it, big crowds, great hospitality, facilities, wonderful. The Landings itself has 6 golf courses within that development. And so we're playing 2 of the other ones. One of them was just redone and literally opened a month ago, I think, because I know a member pretty well and we're staying with their family. So I've not played either course, but I've played there obviously for the Korn Ferry. And then one Wednesday I wasn't in the Pro-Am, so I went and played another one of the courses and I can't remember which one it was, but it was in great shape and a good track as well. So not concerned about that. I'm assuming they're going to be great. I'm going to get over there. I would go Sunday night, but it's Halloween, so we're going to do some trick-or-treating. And then I will head over first thing Monday morning, and I'm probably going to play 9 Monday, 18 Tuesday, and then 9 Wednesday, just to have kind of a light day on Wednesday before we start Thursday.
Walk us through that prep, like what you're looking for when you show up at a course that you haven't seen. I mean, because, when you see these guys on PGA Tour, it's like, that's great that they're doing a practice round, but we've all seen that course. Like we know what it looks like. We know you've seen how balls react. You've seen what takes place, but you haven't seen this. You haven't played it. So walk us through that practice. Like, what are you looking at? Green reception. I mean, I'm sure, of course, like everybody says, I mean, you're looking at fairways and what not to hit into, trouble and all that kind of stuff, but walk us through it.
Yeah. The yardage books we get most weeks are detailed enough and good enough that we could play a course blind. Like I could open the book, I could see carry numbers, run out numbers, slopes on the greens, and I could piece it together. And I've done that. Like I've shown up at courses blind, whether just for rest purposes or getting a tournament late or whatever. So it's more of being comfortable with sight lines off tees, what clubs you're going to hit off tees, and then just kind of how the golf course plays, like receptiveness, like you said. So how chip shots are reacting and running out, different courses, the density of the rough will change how pitch shots react and things like that. And so it's more, it ultimately comes down to execution. Like I can say I'm going to hit a 3-wood off the second tee box, and then if I sky it and hit it right, OB, it doesn't matter. Right. So it's, I can look at the book and figure out where to hit it, I can play the practice round and develop a game plan. But it's more of just being comfortable with how the course is playing. And then once I get out there on the first tee, I don't really set a game plan. It's just kind of, let's just see what the day gives me, and I'm just going to do the best I can with it. And so, yeah.
So you're a take what the course gives you instead of like robot of, I got to do this, this, and this. You're more of a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, golf courses can change so quickly and so often with wind. You know, the wind may be pumping in your face one day and driver doesn't get to a bunker. And then if it shifts, you can carry it 40 over the bunker and it runs out and you got 100 yards less into the hole. So you have to be able to adapt quickly and just kind of play what's in front of you. So there's a general strategy, but I mean, it can be thrown out the window pretty quickly.
You made a comment briefly about talking who you're staying with. You knew a member. That's like a behind the scenes part of tour, right? I mean, we never see, you know, it's not like there's a camera sitting outside your hotel room. Do you feel like there's any advantage to staying in some place like that where you're comfortable, you're with people instead of just a hotel room where you're just sitting there, you know, watching TV by yourself every night? Like, I know that, do you think that helps at all?
It just depends on the week. There's some weeks where you kind of want your space and you need to just kind of have a quiet week where you're not doing anything. But then, yeah, like these are some of my dear friends and people I've gotten to know well over the last 3 or 4 years of staying with them. And they're just super sweet. They become friends outside of me staying with them. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of feels like a homecoming. You know, you just make these great connections all over the place and you safe and comfortable and just like you're going to see family almost. So yeah, like I love going to Savannah and staying with the Templetons and it'll be fun.
Awesome.
Nice.
One of the last things, this is a very important question. Are we going to get to meet Wyatt tomorrow? Possibly.
Yes.
Tomorrow being Saturday.
The last text I got from him today, he's having car issues. So he drove his car from San Diego to Doth for second stage.
It's like a million
championship
miles.
Caddy. Yeah,
Nice.
he wins. And his car basically blew up. Shocker. And so he's been in Dothan the whole week getting the car serviced and fixed and straightened up.
What a great place to hang out.
Yeah. Well,
they got a Hooters. I think that's about it.
They do. They got a Hooters in the Outback.
No, they don't. It closed.
The Outback closed and the Hooters closed.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. But my son is trying to get in on the action.
That's fine. Let him
one
in.
of them.
By far, the Dothan Country Club or whatever it is they call it down there is by far one of the worst tracks I've ever played, but they're real proud of it. Just in case you guys are curious.
Really, I'm a proud member of Dothan Country Club, so don't you ever say that.
I'm not Kyle. You're not dealing with
Kyle. See how he's just being funny. It's okay. It's okay.
I think he's actually being serious right now.
No, I really am.
But you're a proud member or you're just a member?
Proud member.
Both.
Yes.
I love Dothan Country Club.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
So cool. We know you got.
So
exactly future
Hey
matches.
Ben, just let us know when your foot comes out of your mouth.
No, it doesn't bother me. The only time I've ever played is in December every single year, and it's horrible in December. I'm gonna just go ahead and
okay. Well, what course is good in December?
Probably doesn't like you either. It probably wants you to come back. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Fire down, Blayne. Fire down.
Hey, you pipe down over there. Pass.
Listen, I'm the only one who hasn't caught his wrath yet. Kyle,
it's coming. It's coming.
Is too innocent, and Ben just says dumb things. So Nate's just steering clear.
Nate's just sitting there with a random piece of furniture blocking the door behind him. I don't know what that's all about with the show tonight.
I just got married. I just put together this for my wife. I'm doing dad stuff. Okay,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's husband stuff. You haven't done the dad stuff yet.
Whatever, man.
Guys, we gotta let Blayne go. We've kept him on long enough. He's got kids coming in.
His kids are dragging him away.
Bedtime.
Mine don't like me. They're not 12 and 13 yet, Blayne. Trust me, you got a ways to go. Then it completely switches on you.
Well, we're obviously pulling hard for you, and we look forward to meeting Wyatt. I can't wait to meet him and listen to some stories that I've heard that he's an amazing storyteller. So I can't wait to meet Wyatt. We're pulling for you. And hopefully next week we can get some updates. Maybe not. I don't want to disturb you in the middle of big tournaments.
Yeah, I'll text you, Blayne.
We'll text you. We'll take care of it.
In all seriousness, it is just another 4 days of golf. You're not
There you
bothering me. It's not a big deal.
There you go. There you
That's
go.
awesome.
Well, dude, thanks for joining us on Friendship
Yeah.
Friday. This is easily the best Friendship Friday we've had so far. So, and I don't think it'll be topped. I don't think it'll ever be topped.
Episode 77.
Episode 77.
My lucky numbers are 7, and you just doubled it up, Blayne. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Love it.
Appreciate it.
There you go.
Perfect.
Give lucky numbers.
Thanks for having
Okay.
me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a pleasure.
Y'all have a great weekend, and we will catch you back on Monday. We'll update our picks that we made yesterday. That was a fun show. And
They're awful.
yeah.
Turn it awful.
Hey, since this is Friendship Fridays and this is the Dad Bod Golf Pod, maybe we can do a Fitness Friday sometime, and we'll just wrap in some new Dad Bod aspects to it.
I'm into it.
There's
I'm
two.
into it.
There are two of the
Like the
three
walk
of us
to the
need do
fridge,
that.
you know? 10
Yeah.
laps to the fridge.
10 laps to the fridge. Grab your 12
Listen,
ounce.
have you noticed on social how Kyle and I don't do anything shirtless, but apparently Nate can't do anything without taking his shirt off? There's a big
I
difference.
haven't. I'm gonna look at that.
Wait till that metabolism slows down, Nate.
Hey,
Yeah,
don't
he's-
watch it in front of your wife, Blayne. Not good for the marriage.
All right. Y'all take it easy, and we'll catch you back on Monday. The Dad Bod Golf Pod.
Always
Always
broken.